Everybody wants to face each other, so is that where we're at right now with Canelo?
No. Crawford needs the money.
Crawford needs the money?
Yeah, he needs the money.
No, how can you convince fans that he can beat Canelo?
I ain't trying to convince y'all that he can beat Canelo. He's a good fighter.
You know, I'm gonna make all those doubters at the end of the day, at the end of the fight, they all gonna cry when they get home. You know, and I meant that. I meant that.
Gervonta Davis predicts that Canelo Alvarez will dominate and even humiliate Terence Crawford if they face each other. He stresses that Crawford is far from untouchable, recalling how even Yuriorkis Gamboa managed to hurt him in their fight. To Davis, that moment proves Crawford can be vulnerable, and against someone with Canelo's size, strength, and power, those flaws will be exposed. He believes the gap between them is obvious, and that Crawford's past weaknesses will resurface when challenged by a bigger, more dangerous fighter like Canelo.
Convince fans that he can beat Canelo.
I ain't trying to convince y'all that he can beat Canelo. He's a good fighter. So, I would say smaller fighters are always better than bigger fighters because you know, they're smaller, they're not moving like that. This guy is great at what he do. And another thing, bro.
Terence Crawford has made a career out of silencing skeptics, rising to become the undisputed champion at both lightweight and welterweight. Now, he's aiming even higher with the bold decision to challenge Canelo Alvarez at super middleweight. While many question whether he can handle the size and power difference, Crawford is unwavering in his belief that his skills will prevail. With trademark confidence, he vowed that those doubting him will leave fight night in tears, a statement that reflects both his mental fortitude and fearless approach to one of the most ambitious tests of his career.
I'm gonna make all those doubters at the end of the day, they all cry when they get, you know, and I meant it. Everybody's talking about size, you know, me being a smaller fighter, but on stage, I've been sparring these big dudes. Like, I'm gonna take a punch. Every time we so, you know, it's okay. You know, like, you get in the ring, they see something different, like each and every time. It's gonna be another excuse. Why, reason why, there's why, this, that, but in short, we'll be victorious. After that, we're gonna have a fight.
Gervonta Davis, one of the lightweight division's biggest attractions, hasn't shied away from sharing his thoughts on the potential showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Famous for his own knockout power, Davis consistently backs Canelo to come out on top. He points to Alvarez's natural size, strength, and wealth of experience in major fights as advantages Crawford simply hasn't faced before, especially since Crawford has never competed at such a high weight. In Davis's eyes, Canelo's track record of success across multiple divisions makes him the more reliable pick, even against a talent as sharp as Crawford.
Between Canelo and Terence Crawford, Tank is going to pick Canelo to knock Crawford out. We all know Tank had his little run-ins with Bud and things of that nature, to where Bud say he will fight Tank at 147, which is crazy to me, right? Tank ain't going to no damn 147. But nonetheless, Gervonta Tank Davis go ride with Canelo. And, you know, he a smart man. He a smart man. Because I think everybody and their mama see that, you know, Canelo Alvarez is too big for Terence Crawford, just like Terence Crawford knew it. But Gervonta Tank Davis always pick Canelo over everybody. Doesn't matter who it is.
When it comes to resume and experience, few in modern boxing can compare to Canelo Alvarez. From stepping into the ring with Floyd Mayweather early in his career to consistently challenging bigger, stronger opponents, Canelo has built a legacy on taking risks at the highest level. His supporters argue that while Terence Crawford is undeniably brilliant pound for pound, he has yet to face opponents of Canelo's size and pedigree. This track record of overcoming size disadvantages only adds to Alvarez's confidence as he gears up for yet another blockbuster showdown.
Crawford knocking Canelo out. If Canelo lets Crawford get away with boxing, he may have a shot. If Canelo comes in there and boxes and cooks the ring, Canelo has a chance of knocking Crawford out. Yeah.
You said Canelo got a shot at knocking Crawford out?
I think he does.
Why?
Remember, Crawford coming up for 135. And I don't know if y'all remember when he fought Gamboa. Gamboa rocked him a little bit too. And we talked about Canelo Alvarez.
That was a long time ago. We gonna do that. Canelo got rocked by Jose Miguel Cotto.
I didn't know that. But on the real, Canelo has faced big opposition. He's faced some big and the harder punches. Who has Crawford faced that's a big puncher? Canelo's taking more hard punches than Crawford. The tale of the tape is going to be if Crawford can take the power from Canelo, and can Canelo box with Crawford and potentially hurt him or finish the fight.
Analysts caution fans against leaning too heavily on past comparisons when assessing this matchup. Canelo Alvarez is not Errol Spence Jr., and Terence Crawford is not Floyd Mayweather. Alvarez brings his own blend of explosive power, slick upper body movement, and a granite chin, while Crawford's adaptability and switch-hitting versatility set him apart from anyone Canelo has faced. Experts stress that this fight shouldn't be judged by old blueprints. It's a fresh, high-stakes collision of two unique styles, with each fighter offering something entirely different to the ring.
Line, that's a fact. Great boxing, great skills, high IQ, future Hall of Famer. That is a fact, ladies and gentlemen. You know what else is a fact, ladies and gentlemen? Terence Crawford cannot afford to get hit with the same shots by Saul Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is not the mean machine. Canelo Alvarez is not Sean Porter. Canelo Alvarez is not Gamboa, and he's for damn sure not Errol Spence Jr. Just like Terence Crawford is not Floyd Mayweather or Lara. I'm trying to say that Bud's gonna do the same thing that Mayweather was able to do. Two different styles, two different type of fighters. Mayweather is a pure boxer. Terence Crawford is not a pure boxer. That does not mean that he can't box. Before y'all try to kill me in the comment section, he has the ability to do a box. But Terence Crawford is a boxer puncher, ladies and gentlemen. He gets angles, but he doesn't move like a Floyd Mayweather or a Lara. He's not on his toes like that. And he also likes to exchange when he gets hurt, and that can be to his detriment. If he exchanged with Canelo a little too long, it might neck will time. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this in the comments section.
Canelo Alvarez comes into the fight with clear advantages in both size and experience. Competing at 168 pounds is second nature to him, and he's already shared the ring with numerous Hall of Fame-level opponents. Terence Crawford, meanwhile, is venturing into new territory at super middleweight but is widely considered the most technically gifted fighter in boxing today. His sharp timing, precise counterpunching, and seamless switch-hitting make him a puzzle few have solved. This showdown, then, is a clash of contrasts, Canelo's size and battle-tested resume against Crawford's elite technique and adaptability.
Odd makers have Canelo versus Crawford Gillette close. Now, obviously, Canelo has size advantage. He's 3 weight divisions heavier than Crawford. And most people believe that Crawford carries the skill advantage, being an overall more skilled fighter. Neither guy is known for tremendous defense, but it's still solid. And of course, they're both chiseled into the Mount Rushmore pugilism for their ironclad wills. The one area that people say Canelo might have the advantage is in experience fighting heavier dudes. Now, obviously, all fighters spar out of their weight classes. But when it comes to actually fighting in the pro ranks with those 10-ounce gloves, Canelo's the only one between the two of them that has a multitude of experience fighting super middleweights and light heavyweights in the pro ranks. So does this slight advantage give Canelo the nod and make him a bit of a favorite? Or is Crawford going to prove that size doesn't matter and it's skills that pay the bills? What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments.
Veteran trainer Abel Sanchez has voiced serious doubts about Terence Crawford's decision to step up against Canelo Alvarez. Sanchez pointed out that Crawford has never competed at this level in terms of size and natural weight, making the move a highly risky leap. He warned that moving up too quickly can expose even the most skilled fighters to disadvantages that pure technique cannot erase. To illustrate his point, Sanchez referenced Dmitry Bivol's victory over Canelo, where even a naturally bigger light heavyweight with stylistic advantages had to perform at his absolute peak to get the win. His message was clear: if a fighter like Bivol had to dig that deep, Crawford's climb against Alvarez will be an even steeper challenge. Sanchez's perspective underscores just how daunting this task may be for Crawford.
Be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I just think that moving up in weight without having fights to merit that, I think it's the wrong move. But he couldn't handle a 154-pounder the way that he was handling everybody else before, and Madrimov is not Canelo. Canelo's been used to fighting all the bigger guys and has done very well with the bigger guys. Nobody's hurt him. Nobody's hurt him. I mean, he's fought the biggest punch. He fought Gennady. Come on, he fought Gennady twice, really the good fights. And then Bivol hit him with everything and couldn't hurt him. So how's Terence gonna do that? I don't think he can. I see Canelo going away maybe in a 16-12, 17-13 kind of fight. The first 3 or 4 rounds will be difficult for Canelo, or a little harder for Canelo because of the speed. But once he assumes, just like when Golovkin fought Kell Brook, you know, the first 3 or 4 rounds where Kell was fast. But Terence is going to expose himself when he throws his punches, and Canelo's going to finally get this timing down, and I think we'll be able to control the fight.
Do you see a version of Canelo now that is slowing down though? Obviously a lot of people might point towards the Williams Skull fight, but again, despite how that one played out, people talk about his lack of motivation maybe for a fight like that. But do you see this version of Canelo declining?
No, I think the lack of motivation because of the opponent could have been the reason for that fight. I think these guys at that level, once they get a name, they're looking at a name. It's a different story. They're not only their motivation, but they're waking up earlier in the morning to go run. All those things come into play because they know they have a challenge on.
One thing with the weight, and again, Buddy spoke to me about this, is he said that if he was Terence, he'd come in just over the 160 limit, so he's just inside the 168 limit to try and keep a bit more of that speed instead of just like bulking up. Did you agree with that sentiment, or if you was Terence, would you just bulk up?
Well, let me say this. Like everybody else, I read or I watch some of the writings on the internet, and to see that Terence is weighing 186, 190 pounds, I think that's completely the wrong way to do it.
Respected trainer Robert Garcia, who has guided multiple world champions, has voiced concern about Terence Crawford's leap to super middleweight. Garcia cautioned that putting on weight too quickly can dull a fighter's natural strengths, especially speed and reflexes, which are at the core of Crawford's style. He also pushed back on comparisons to Floyd Mayweather, reminding fans that Mayweather stayed within his natural weight range and carefully picked his opportunities. In Garcia's view, Crawford's brilliance may not fully carry over if the added size slows him down or impacts his stamina. Look, with Crawford, Garcia explained, his skills are elite, but that extra weight could change the way he fights.
With Crawford, I think gaining too much weight and too much muscle might affect him. If they're thinking of surviving and being able to take a punch and being able to go around, then they're trying to maybe go the distance, and they'll be happy with that. But I think Crawford's natural talent, Mayweather had it. You know, you guys were just mentioning it right now, but he doesn't. Mayweather never needed to gain weight, never needed to be heavy to be able to beat those bigger guys. I think Crawford's skills, we give Crawford a chance because we know how good he is, how, you know, his skills, his speed, his combinations. But if he's gaining so much weight, he might not be able to do those. He might not be able to have those same skills when it comes to his speed, his footwork, because of the weight. So we'll see. You know, I just hope he's not just training and getting big to survive and go the distance, because maybe that's a win for him. Maybe he's thinking, if I go the distance with him, that's a big win for me. So, you know, I just hope not. I expect Crawford to actually pull up some runs and maybe even pull up the fight. But if he's too heavy or too big, it's gonna get hit. You're gonna have to exchange punches, and that's